Losing weight after 35 isn't harder because you're doing something wrong. It's harder because your body is no longer responding the same way it used to. And that difference is subtle at first, but over time, it becomes impossible to ignore. You follow the same habits that worked in your 20s. You eat a bit less. You try to stay active. Maybe you even push yourself harder than before. But the results don't match the effort. The scale barely moves. Energy drops faster. And progress feels inconsistent, even when you stay disciplined. That's when the confusion starts. Because from the outside, nothing seems dramatically different. But internally, several small shifts begin to add up. And those shifts change how your body handles energy. After 35, your metabolism doesn't just slow down in a simple way. It becomes less flexible. Your body becomes more resistant to burning stored fat efficiently. At the same time, it becomes more efficient at conserving energy. That combination creates a difficult situation. You're working harder, but your body is becoming more conservative with how it uses fuel. One of the key factors behind this is how your body regulates thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is the process of burning calories to produce energy and heat. It plays a major role in fat loss. When you're younger, this system tends to be more responsive. Your body can switch into fat-burning mode more easily. But over time, that responsiveness starts to fade. It doesn't stop completely. It just becomes harder to activate. And that's where most people get stuck without realizing it. They assume the solution is to push harder, cut more calories, add more workouts, increase intensity. But when the underlying system is less responsive, those strategies start to lose effectiveness. It's like pressing harder on a pedal that's no longer connected properly. You feel like you're doing more, but the output doesn't change much. This is why weight loss after 35 often feels disproportionate. The effort increases, but the results plateau. And it doesn't stop there. Other systems in your body also begin to shift. Hormonal balance becomes more sensitive. Blood sugar regulation can become less stable. And signals related to hunger and fullness may become less predictable. That's why cravings often increase, especially later in the day. It's not just about habit. It's your body trying to compensate for inefficient energy use. At the same time, energy levels tend to drop more quickly. Afternoon fatigue becomes more common. Motivation fluctuates more. And small inconsistencies in routine can have a bigger impact than before. All of this creates a cycle. You feel tired, so you move less. You crave more energy, so you eat more. But your body isn't using that energy efficiently, so it gets stored instead of burned. And over time, this cycle reinforces itself. This is where most traditional advice starts to fall short, because it focuses almost entirely on behavior. Eat less, move more, stay consistent. Those are still important, but they don't address the structural changes happening underneath. They assume your body responds the same way it always did. But after 35, that assumption starts to break down. And this is the key shift most people miss. The real issue isn't just that your metabolism is slower. It's that your body has become less responsive to the signals that trigger fat burning. That responsiveness is what determines whether your efforts actually translate into results. When it's high, small changes can produce noticeable outcomes. When it's low, even big efforts can feel ineffective. So instead of only asking, "How can I do more?" a better question becomes, "How can I help my body respond better?" That's a completely different approach. It shifts the focus away from intensity and toward function, from forcing results to restoring the system that produces them. And that doesn't require extreme changes. It requires understanding how different factors influence metabolic responsiveness. Things like stable energy intake, consistent daily movement, and proper recovery all play a role. Certain natural compounds have also been studied for how they support thermogenesis and metabolic balance, not as shortcuts, but as support mechanisms that help the body operate more efficiently. Individually, these changes might seem small, but together, they can improve how your body processes and uses energy throughout the day. And when that happens, the experience of weight loss begins to change. Energy becomes more stable, cravings become easier to manage, and results start to feel more aligned with effort again. Not because you're pushing harder, but because your body is responding better. That's the difference. And that's why weight loss after 35 feels harder for so many people. It's not just about willpower. It's about how your body's internal systems are functioning. Once you understand that, the frustration starts to make more sense. And more importantly, your strategy can start to change. Instead of constantly increasing effort, you begin to focus on improving responsiveness. That's a more sustainable path, and it's one that aligns better with how your body actually works over time. If you want to explore this in more depth, there's a structured breakdown in the description that connects these ideas to practical ways of thinking about your routine and daily habits. And if you want more explanations, like this focused on understanding the structure behind common problems, consider subscribing.